In Springdale, the All-Star Sports Arena attracts thousands of visitors every year. They come to watch and participate in basketball, volleyball, and soccer tournaments, and they stay at local hotels and eat at local restaurants. On that level, the All-Star Sports Arena focuses on local economic sustainability, but it also champions the ingenuity of recycling. I'm at the All-Star Sports Arena in Springdale. You know, our show's about conserving the world's resources, and Scott Harrison, the owner of All-Star Sports Arena, I think, is really a prime example of what our show's all about. Thank you, Scott, for spending time with us.
You're welcome.
The floor we're standing on here looks like I might have played on it.
Yes, probably you may have. Well, Rogers High School up in Rogers, Arkansas, they demolition in their old building to build a new arena. And I went up there and bought this from them and tore it out and brought it up here and installed 16,000 square foot of wood.
Wow.
And it's a 45-year-old floor. We got the bleachers also from the same arena.
So I guess had you not taken this wood, it would have been salvaged.
They would have salvaged it and burned it.
I mean, this is a great example of using what we got rather than just buying new every single time and saving money at the same time.
Yes.
Well, tell me about other ways you save money here. I was looking at the lights.
Yes, we went with this light. It's a Williams light that's fluorescent that can be turned on and off. They don't have to go through the wait time that a traditional high bay light has to go through. There's only 222 watts per fixture versus 750 watts. So when you have to buy 200 fixtures and you got that, extra 500 watts, that's a lot of energy being used and a lot of heat produced in the building that you really don't need.
Absolutely. Well, we're about trying to conserve the world's resources and certainly about trying to keep CO2 out of the atmosphere. And this is a great example of how to do it and save money at the same time.
Yes.
That's great.
And it's allowed us, along with our air conditioning system from Coenco, to just have 600 amp service for this facility.
For the whole facility?
And it's 130,000 square feet, so traditionally they would want you to have 2,000 amp service.
Wow.
So we are saving a lot of money.
That's right. Then a Coenco is the heating and ventilation system.
Yes.
And he's out of Fayetteville, and he specializes in efficient use of space and air and heat, and definitely saves money with the heating system.
We saved approximately $500,000 by going that direction, along with, we save about $10,000 a month on our utilities by going that direction. We don't have all that duct work all over, and it's continuous air movement, and it makes it cleaner. The temperature up on the ceiling is the same temperature it is on the floor, so it's a lot more comfortable for people year-round.
I've not been in this facility, but it's huge. I'm shocked that it's here, but the competitive sports and how the community gets involved and how much this facility really means to the city of Springdale, and I would not have understood that.
We use about 15,000 hotel rooms a year. Wow. The impact last year, based on figures from the Chamber of Commerce, for $16.7 million to the city of Springdale on an economic impact. So we bring teams from all over the country, literally. Last weekend we had Houston here, Dallas, San Antonio, Tulsa.
Wow. So it's basketball?
Basketball,
soccer?
Soccer and volleyball.
Volleyball, okay, that's the basic
yes.
three that you're competing in.
Yes.
Well, this is a big place. Can you show me around a little bit more?
Sure. Some other areas that we were able to recycle some stuff is we got our second floor mezzanine, which is about 19,000 square feet out of ToysRUs.com. It was going to be a demolition also, so I went and bought that from them and brought it in here, and we have our fitness center upstairs. We have a dance studio upstairs and a mixed martial arts group upstairs. So it allowed us to more space at a more affordable way versus adding more space on the ground. With that same mezzanine, with the poles, I was able to also build all of our basketball goals. So we built all of them, so now all the basketball goals in the building are portable. You can move them around with a pallet jack, and it's used material from ToysRUs.com. So we didn't have to increase the steel on the ceiling by dropping basketball goals from the ceiling. We were able just to keep everything on the ground and more portable.
I understand there's a story to this floor that has something to do with Larry Bird. Tell me about it.
Well, we had bought so much. We had bought brand new 30,000 square foot of Connor floors out of Wisconsin.
Right.
And the dance company, Studio 54, had come to me and said, hey, you know, I'd like to have some space in the sports arena. So I called Connor Floors and said, hey, look, I need another hardwood floor, but I only need about 2,000 square feet, and I bought so much from you in the past. What do you have anything? He said, I think I got something, but let me check. So he called back the next day and said, hey, I have 2,000 square foot left over from the Boston Garden that I'll just donate to you. And we had someone install it. But yeah, the Boston Celtics play on that same floor.
Wow. So that was in the Boston Garden for years and years and years.
Yes.
With Larry Bird, Bill Russell, and a pretty famous place.
Yes.
That's fascinating. How do you end up with stuff like this? I want some of this in my house.
Well, you just ask enough questions and call enough people, and things get taken care of. Some other areas, you know, like on this track, the railing came out of a distribution center that it's just pallet racking.
That right here?
Old pallet racking that, you know, you put pallets on and heavy stuff in the warehouse. We also, all of the chairs in the building, which we have about 500 chairs, all came out of other facilities at auctions. And then all of our bleachers is old purlins and old catwalk from a manufacturing plant in Memphis.
Wow.
So we just put them together, and each bleacher probably saved $500 per bleacher, and we had to have 100 bleachers, so it was kind of nice.
It's hard to really conceive of how big this place is. I mean, just I drove up, you know, but it's big. When you get in here, there's a lot of, looking over how many basketball courts right here. There's
six basketball
six
courts.
right here. Amazing.
And three on the other side.
Well, tell me about this railing. Now this is interesting. This railing right here. This is
It's just PVC.
PVC plumbing pipe that was.
That was at another facility that went out of business, and we thought, well, let's just make it look nicer than some of the metal that I had put it up, because it's made out of pallet racking underneath, and then I put it.
Oh, you put it on top of it.
The track, if you'll notice, it kind of gives what it is. It's made out of some C-channel and pallet racking also, but we put wood on top of it in order to give it that bounce effect, because a lot of tracks that you run into will be a concrete track, and it's just not as good on your knees and your back.
Absolutely.
And I think the customers really like it.
Well, the old indoor tracks were wood, if I remember.
Yes.
So this is similar with carpet on top.
This is a soccer field. We have two indoor soccer fields. This is field turf that a lot of the high schools are using right now. It's a lot better on your knees and your back. And what it is it's a grass surface with recycled tires inside it, about 2 inches of recycled rubber tires.
Well, you know, I noticed it. I felt like I was outdoors. It's pretty soft.
And I think it's actually softer than the hard ground that you play football on outdoors.
Okay, Scott, we're sitting in a recycled Dairy Queen.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I got these tables out of Dairy Queen up in Bella Vista.
Okay.
I got some other tables here in the concession stand from the Mercantile in Fayetteville.
It's an eclectic group of tables. It looks like 3 different restaurants.
Yeah. Which is, you know, I mean, people are just going to sit here and eat and make mess anyway, so.
And when I start thinking about each one of these items, the freezers across here, each one of these are very expensive items if you were going to equip this place with new stuff.
Yes.
And yet if you're patient and you look, it's out there.
So I got all the coolers, freezers, walk-in coolers, heaters, and everything, warmers and popcorn and
Right.
makers. I got it all at auctions and stuff around the country.
I'm assuming this is the only one of its kind. I haven't seen another one, and certainly no one could put the same pieces in here. What gave you the idea, first of all, to get involved in this business, I'll call it, and then to do it the way you did it?
Well, 8 years ago, I was coaching my daughter's competitive team, and we were traveling around the country, all over the country. We were playing gym to gym, and every gym we played in, it didn't matter if it was a national level or local level, it was a slippery court, no concession stands, bad bathrooms, bad lighting. It wouldn't be open on time, the scoreboards wouldn't work. And so I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice just to have everything all in one location? You wouldn't have to go, as a coach, having 7 cars follow you all over Dallas it's a pain.
Right.
So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have all the courts in one facility? So I did a lot of research, traveled around. There are a few other facilities like this in America, but you got to go to the metropolitan areas of 3-4 million people, and a lot of them are owned by the cities.
Okay.
There's very few privately owned facilities, so that's kind of how I got started.
So you create an environment where a lot of teams can come in on a given weekend, and that's pretty unusual because usually there's only one gym at a time you could play with.
It's been nice for Northwest Arkansas because we have a lot of multi-kid families that on any given night, one kid will be doing volleyball, one child will be doing soccer, another 2 will be doing basketball, and then mom and dad are working out in the fitness center. So versus before, they'd have to go to the dance studio in Bentonville, and baseball was in Fayetteville. Yeah. And if you had more than 2 kids, you had to find another parent to run your kids around. Thank you, Scott. It's a great spot you've got here. I really appreciate the tour, and I've learned a lot. And thanks for your effort to conserve energy and providing such a wonderful place for the city of Springdale. Well, thank you for coming. We'll be back after a break.